Marketing, the bane of many MDs' life. So you're absolutely brilliant at what you do, and the reality is that most MDs that I meet of successful business are fab at what you do. But there is a lot of work outside of marketing that needs to be done, and it tends to be running around trying to get the sales, trying to get the operations smooth, making sure there's enough coming in so the staff are busy, dealing with the staff problems, and marketing always takes a back seat. Business comes in through referrals, through word of mouth, it's brilliant, but it does come to a point when you actually need marketing. And what I found is it's not that MDs don't understand marketing, because fundamentally we all use marketing, we're all served marketing. It's just that you're either flying blind without a strategy, and I talk a lot about strategy. Strategy is really, really important for making sure that everyone is on the same page. So you're either kind of flying blind without something that all talking the same, so strategy, or fundamentally the messaging, what messaging you're going out with, which needs to be consistent for marketing to work. Or you have been sort of getting agencies in to do this, that and the other, but they don't really understand your business. So in my opinion, marketing needs to work like everything else. It just needs to be part of the system. So like operations, like your HR department, it needs to be strategic, it needs to be systematic, and it needs to be ultimately measurable. And what you need is marketing that looks at your business, looks at what your business needs are. I worked with Cyan Glass for a long time, and one of the key business needs actually wasn't necessarily getting in full sales, but it was actually to make sure that the guys were employed. So it's a slightly different nuance. So the guys would go out on big fitting jobs and then come back in, and they were sort of sitting around. They needed jobs to infill. So it's looking at the strategic kind of elements. You know, the company, Cyan Glass wanted to go more commercial. So it's about like, okay, we need to do more commercial. How do we do that? How do we support in the sales, in the commercial sales into the commercial world? So the Salisbury cathedrals and things like that. And so I guess what I want to say is, like, it is worth thinking of outsourcing your marketing to begin with, to getting a marketing director in that can help to set the tone, set the strategy. And then it is worth thinking about, do we employ, or actually, do we not want to take that risk? Do we want to get everything sorted? And that can be then, again, outsourced marketing department who do everything, who set everything up. Because what I've found is that strategy is great, but it's very difficult to implement if you don't understand marketing. And I find that time and again. So it is worth having someone who shows the ropes and says, right, okay, this is how you have to do it. This is the customer we have to be talking to all the time. These are the key points we need to always be saying. Because fundamentally, marketing is about consistency. It's not hugely exciting. I mean, I love it, but it's not hugely exciting. It's about consistent messaging, going out to the right target audience all the time. We at your marketing department are very love doing this type of stuff. As I say, I've mentioned Cyan Glass. They're one of our most successful clients, and we tip the balance from 70% doors and windows residential to 70% commercial. That's what we were looking for. But as I say, we supported the business, and we didn't just kind of go, oh, we need to do this, which is maybe what an agency does. It's going, right, I'll do a campaign for commercial. That wasn't really what it was, because the owner wanted to do commercial. He needed the breathing space. He needed to know the rest of the business was going to work. There were three parts of the business. There are three parts of the business. And, you know, that one is part of it, but there's also the manufacturing side, etc. So we managed to do that. And actually the business over the 5 years since we've been working with them went from 2 million to 8 million, which is absolutely brilliant. So if you are ready to stop firefighting and bring on someone to help do the marketing, why not give us a call? Absolutely no obligation. I do not have a problem with just having a chat. I'm not going to try and sell you something. If you're doing it right, I promise you, I will tell you you're doing it right. But if you need a bit of help, or if I'm not the right person, I will find you the right person. So do get in touch, and I'd love to hear from you.